Welcome to another episode of Me, My Wife, and Sports. I'm your host, Fitz, with my lovely co-host, Darcy.
Hello.
Wake up.
Ooh,
It's been a long week.
rainy day.
But our Cowboys, they defeated the Eagles in an epic comeback. And you was ready to write them off, too.
I was, because did they win it in the first quarter? No. Did they win it in the second quarter? No. Did they win it in the third quarter? No.
Let me guess. It must have been the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter.
And you know
the fourth quarter comeback.
And you know your best friend texts me probably in the first three quarters saying, time to go to bed. And
she's an Eagles fan.
And when the game was over, I didn't respond until after the game was over, and I said, I'm going to bed. And I got, you know what I got from her when I did that? You know what I got? You know
what? What?
That's what I got.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. How about them Cowboys?
I'm telling you. All right. I don't know if you heard the news about, and this is baseball, about Ohtani.
No.
But next year he's going to play for Japan in the World Baseball Classic. So,
okay.
You know, hey, good for him.
Yeah.
And more and more athletes I'm starting to see get involved with politics. And one of the latest is Rick Fox.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he's running for, and I didn't know he was a Bahamian.
Yeah.
His mom is from Canada, where he was born. And he was raised, though, in the Bahamas.
Oh, okay. And so he's got dual citizenship?
I don't know, but his dad is from the Bahamas.
Okay.
So, and mom is Canadian.
Okay.
So
good luck.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him. Because I think,
go get him, Rick.
I think that'll be good because he's looking to try to make change for that country. So,
right.
Yeah. You're
what else is out there?
Well, we've been talking about the Heisman and all that.
Oh, but wait. Before you go to that, we got to give a shout out to Shador on his first.
Oh yeah, his first
NFL win. Yes. Don't pass up my Colorado Buffs. Yes. Congratulations, Shador. Yes. We are very happy and excited for you, and
I think
keep it up. Keep up the good work.
He's the first Cleveland starter to win their first game. I think in a long
because they said they had like a crazy number of quarterbacks in the last.
Just in the last, 5 years?
Yeah, 5 or 7 years or something like that. Since like 2018, they had like 10 or 15. It's some crazy number of quarterbacks. And we know they've had a lot because we knew one of them. Because
you can go back to, Johnny Manziel. I think he was at Cleveland, wasn't he?
I think so.
And he didn't last long, of course. Then, of course, Baker Mayfield was at Cleveland at one point.
I mean, Terrell Pryor was at Cleveland.
Yeah, Terrell Pryor, you're right.
So we can go back to that,
So they've rotated through
they have gone through a lot of quarterbacks.
And hopefully they'll get it right.
Yeah. Yes.
Because Gabriel, they said he's out of concussion protocol because I think that was wrong with him, right?
Yes.
And they're still going with Shador to start.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what was going on with the coaching and the fact that after Gabriel was hit and went out of the game,
right,
and then Shador went in, and like the team was just frustrated because they weren't prepared for Shedeur to come in because they hadn't gotten any reps with Shedeur.
Yeah, and they were
they were very vocal about that. And that was like the talk for the whole week on all the shows is that I don't care how many quarterbacks you got on a team, you prepare your team with every one of those quarterbacks because you don't anticipate anybody getting hurt, but you got to be ready.
You got to be ready
if they do,
because it's a rough sport.
Yeah, but all that's in the past, and Shedeur put his
best foot forward.
He put his best foot forward. He put that money where his mouth was, and he came out and he did his thing. And I'm just very, very happy for him. And I think the whole city of Cleveland is excited. And Dion was at the game because he kept calling Dad saying, we ain't going to come to the game. And Dad said, when you play. And he played and Dad was there.
Dad got his own woes to deal with.
Yeah, so, but he was there supporting. And it's just exciting to watch that family support each other because they really do show up for each other. And
they do.
It's just awesome.
Especially in today's world, we need it.
Yeah, so congratulations. Now you can move on.
Okay, can I move on?
Yeah, you can.
You sure?
You can ask like Cam did.
We were talking about the Heisman candidates, and I was doing some research because, in the beginning, it started out with a pool of people, and things have shifted. Mm-hmm. And this one particular article, and I can't remember who was the writer of it, from one of the top news agencies. It was either Washington Post, New York Times, or something like that. But they shortened the list of Heisman favorites. There's only about 4 Heisman favorites, and I'm not sure I agree with all of them. And there's those who are possible contenders, maybe, or long shots, as they call it in the article. But we'll go down the list, and I'm curious on your thoughts and opinions. The first person they had listed, which I agree, Fernando Mendoza, quarterback for Indiana, because he has been doing a great job.
Okay.
And for Indy to be
11-0
in the top 10, or hell, the top 5 is a big deal in itself, Mm-hmm. So. And for number 2, they say, who is in the running or a Heisman favorite, is Texas A&M quarterback Marcel Reed.
Marcel Reed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I like him, but
Texas A&M.
Yeah, but I'm not sold just yet.
Okay, and this is where is this article that you're?
This is from one of the major news outlets. I can't remember which one it was.
Remember which one.
It was either Washington Post or New York Times. It might have been even the AP Wire. So, but the third player, which I hate to say because I'm a Michigan fan, but Julian Sayin, quarterback for Ohio State, he's being pushed as a favorite as well. With him, I'm not sold as well. I think it's more the receiver than him, in my opinion. But hey, number 4 pick, Ty Simpson from Alabama, quarterback. I agree with that. Ty, he shows some good sparks out there. And he would be my he would be my third go-to, because right now, and it's a gentleman, I haven't mentioned his name yet, but I will, since we were talking about those who were in the finals, or the favorites, I should say, whereas these other ones are supposedly sort of long shots. But one of the long shots is Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver for Ohio State. I think he should be the front runner. He would be my number 1, and Indy's quarterback, my number 2, and Ty Simpson, my number 3. But for some reason, when you look at the Heisman, for the longest, it's always been a quarterback, throw some running backs in there. But as of late, it's been still more of a quarterback than receiver, because I think, who was the last receiver the one from Philly. What's his name? Smith?
Devontae?
Yeah. He was the last, I believe, receiver to win the Heisman. But some of the other long shots, Diego Pavia, quarterback for Vanderbilt, Haynes King, quarterback for Georgia Tech, and your favorite, Jeremiah Love for Notre Dame, the running back.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this one strange. They had as the number 9 long shot, Jacob Rodriguez. He's a linebacker for Texas Tech.
Yeah, his name is being thrown around now.
Yeah. So I don't know much about him. I don't think I've seen him play, but I'm kind of curious on that.
Oh, let's see. So
what do you got? Come on.
Well, we were talking earlier, and we were looking at defensive players.
Mm-hmm.
So Travis Hunter was a cornerback, wide receiver, but the last fully defensive player was the cornerback from Michigan, Charles Woodson.
Woodson.
Yeah.
Yep. So
and that was 1997.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, you really have to be special as a defensive player now to win it.
He got, yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then before him, he might have been the first one to get it.
I think he had to go back to the 50s or something.
As a defensive player.
Yeah. Since we're on college football, I want to bring up the firing of a lot of these coaches. And I did some research to say, okay, when these guys get fired, what is the next step for them? Or do they need to really keep working to make that money? Do they lose all that money in those contracts? What's the deal? So then this is just for this year. Arkansas fired their coach, Sam Pittman, and they did a buyout with him for $9 million. And we're talking college coaches. That's how much the value of sports and money and having coaches and players, especially with the NIL thing going on now. But the fact that they bought him out at $9 million. So what was his full contract,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Auburn, they fired their coach, Hugh Freeze. His buyout was $15.8 million. Cal State fired Justin Wilcox. His buyout was $10 million. Now, Florida, Billy Napier of Florida, the coach of Florida at the time, was fired, and his buyout was $21 million. Fired me.
Right, that's what they were saying too.
And you tell me you got to pay me $21 million, whether it's yearly or all at one lump sum, I don't know, but fire me. And I'll be sitting there watching Monday Night Quarterbacking on the game of the new coach. Now, LSU, who is a well-named coach, Brian Kelly. Now, and just so you know, too, this was the first time in Brian Kelly's history as a coach he's ever been fired. So, it was traumatic for him.
So he's in shock.
But his buyout, just take a guess.
I already know. I'm looking at it, so go ahead and say it.
$54 million.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's crazy.
Well, if you're looking at it, why don't you continue?
Oh, the next one?
Yeah.
Mike Gundy?
Yep, for Oklahoma State.
So was he the same Gundys that used to be
talking about basketball?
Basketball?
I don't know.
Of that family?
I do not know.
That's interesting. Well, no, it could be all related, but Oklahoma State coach was fired and, his buyout was $15 million.
Right.
But, somebody, if you're an Oklahoma State fan, you probably know who he is, but big name, Penn State, James Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody know James Franklin. Yep. And he was fired, and his buyout was more than $49 million.
Nope.
But it was negotiated down.
Right, to $9 million.
Which I don't know why he would have done that.
He probably didn't want to hit the school hard because who knows, maybe he believed in the program and he knew he was getting this other job, so hey.
It was negotiated down to $9 million before he got another job.
True. I saw that.
Yeah. So maybe I hope his daughter got to go to Penn State. I hope that was part of the negotiation.
Well,
because that's what,
If that was negotiation, $40 million for her education is a lot of money.
I keep saying, maybe she wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer or something. So maybe it all balanced out. But I keep bringing that up because he sure threw that out there. Like at the press conference, he said, my daughter wanted to go to school here, but that's out of the question right now. And that's just how he said it. So
was it, I wonder if it was because they fired him. He said, I wouldn't let my daughter go here because I'm moving. She has to move with me.
Yeah. But if she's college age, why can't she stay there and go to school? Why is that? You made $54 million.
Or
you can't
didn't
afford
want to pay. I don't know.
Yeah, why is that out of the question now? Because he said that, and y'all can go back and look at the tape. It was just, he made a point to bring that up. He was straight in his feelings. And I guess he was so carefully picking his words and he was trying to be politically correct.
Right.
But he definitely put that out there and it stuck with me. So, yeah, those were most of the big ones.
Stanford. Their coach.
The buyout is unknown.
Exactly. But because
it's Stanford.
The one that got me the most was the UCLA firing.
Why is that? Because
the AD admitted that he made a mistake by giving an inexperienced Foster a job. That's harsh, though. He's just saying, I hired somebody who was green, didn't know what the hell he was doing, which shows that I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
You're right. So if anybody should have been fired, the AD should have been fired, right?
Maybe that's why he got fired. Jeez. He fired the guy. It's like, you brought him, you fire him. And, of course, as you mentioned with, who was it, Penn State coach Franklin, he went to Virginia Tech.
And their coach got fired.
Yeah. But he got, a 5-year deal, $41 million?
Yeah.
So between that money from Penn State and that, he's looking good. It's
interesting.
It is. Going back to the NBA, it's all in the news now and about the gambling and the players that are involved and the mafia and all that good stuff. But
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Billups, he got arraigned.
We don't need no mafia, so
and
what is it?
They might. Hey, they follow sports.
I know they might be listening.
Yeah,
it's all allegations. Everybody's innocent till proven guilty.
But Billups got arraigned, and he had a bail of $5 million bond. I was like, geez, I was making sure.
Well, he been gambling. He's a flight risk.
Give him his passport up. Give the passport. It ain't like he murdered somebody.
Well, yeah, but still, he got, if the allegation, if there's any truth to the allegations, he's well connected. He don't need no passport.
Sneak him out in a trunk.
They got private jets.
Yeah. They got to land somewhere.
They can hop. They gonna hop from this island to that island. They got ways of getting people in and out of countries.
Yeah, and Terry Rozier, who's also implicated, even though they say there's two separate cases that might overlap, but Rozier, he goes to get arraigned on December 8th.
I just need Netflix to be on top of this so that they can go ahead and do the untold story because there is a lot of moving parts to this. And we're never going to know. The general public is never going to know the whole story. Don't anybody jump to any conclusions until the white paper and the emails and the secret documents and everything is released, because I'm really beginning to learn that in this world that we call sports, there is so much going on behind the scenes that we do not know about. There are a lot more things being controlled than what the general public expects as being controlled.
Why don't you share some of the excerpts from the book that you're reading?
So I'm reading a book called Turf Wars by DeMaurice Fitzgerald Smith. He was the former NFL Players Association executive director. That's the Players Union.
Right.
And he has written a book. And it's really like a tell-all,
sort of the behind the scenes of the sports side of the world.
Yeah, it's a tell-all on the NFL. What you have to keep in mind is his side.
Right.
So you're just getting one side of the story.
What's his background?
He's a lawyer.
Okay.
And so that gives him some credibility.
So he wasn't even a former player then.
He has he played in school, but he did not play in college. He played in like high school
Right.
But he's small in stature, he's short, and that was one of the obstacles that he said he had to overcome to even become the executive director.
Right.
Because he did not play in college or professional sports. But it's a very interesting book, and it is definitely an eye-opener. He talks about everything that happened during his tenure as executive director. And I don't want to give too much away. I encourage everybody to read the book. It's very interesting. He gives insight to things like explaining what the franchise tag means. Like I'll share little things like that. So I never understood really what the franchise tag meant. And so it means tacking on a year to the existing contract. It's used on one player per year, delaying a multi-year deal. And that one player on whatever team is paid an average salary of the top 5 players at his position. So whether it's the quarterback, running back, whatever that position is, they get an average of the top 5 players at their position. And that money for that 1 year is all fully guaranteed.
Oh, wow.
So for a player to get the franchise tag, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, Kirk Cousins, he took advantage of that from Washington to Minnesota.
Baby, like there's a whole chapter on how Kirk Cousins
he got franchised
maneuvered
like 3 times, didn't he?
I mean, I'd have to go back because I wouldn't want to misquote it.
Well, I know for sure 2 times.
So Kirk Cousins got the franchise tag from Washington.
Yes.
While RG3 was the quarterback.
Yes.
So he was the number 2 quarterback.
Right.
And he got the tag. Because
they knew RG3 was a bust. He say it hurt.
So that was what was weird about that situation is they tagged a player that wasn't even playing in the position.
I guess they didn't want to lose him. That's what it was.
That was the part of what was going on with Dan Snyder and some of the things that he was doing that the other owners were starting to find out about that they didn't like. So the owners basically ran Dan Snyder out of the country.
Yes.
Can you imagine the power that these men have to run you out of the country?
Well, hell, if they paying you $1 million, $100 million,
hundreds of million. Because what is that getting? Like 200 something million, right? Yeah. So they paying.
So what's his
name? Myles Garrett. He getting 200 something. They paying these guys like hundreds of millions of dollars, millions of dollars. It's just unbelievable. I'm telling you, my friends got the book and they said, Darcy, you got to read this book. But don't read it now during football season because they know I'm a huge fan. So I got the book and it was just like calling me off the shelves, like, read me. And
she will be sitting everywhere reading.
Oh my God.
Bathroom, dinner table.
So I started reading it. And it hasn't turned me against football. But
she all angry now.
No, I'm not
saying something on the TV.
No, I'm much more educated about football. And what I encourage, I don't know that I would I don't know that I would recommend kids playing football. And if you're going to play football, then you need to take a class on football, and you need to
know what's behind the scenes.
You need to know what's football is a business.
Yes.
And parents need to get educated themselves so that they can then educate their kids, because, they said things like in the book now, and again, see, I understand this is one man's opinion.
Right.
And I still got a lot of research to do so that I can come back and give you all the best information that I can. But they said things like the draft, and some of this does make sense when you think about it. But he said things like the draft was installed to control player wages and to control the players' ability to choose where they went to work. Because think about it. If you're
not drafted, you're just like, okay, who's going to give me the most money?
But even if you're the number one, if you're the Heisman Trophy winner, you can't say, I want to go play at the Cowboys.
Right.
You got to wait to be drafted.
Right.
And you go wherever they tell you to go. You might be the number one draft pick. You still don't get to say where you want to go.
Unless you're Eli Manning.
But see, you know what? So now I understand why Eli did what he did, because Eli's family had the backstory. That's what made me believe when I read that this information about the draft, that's what gave it some kind of credibility.
Yeah.
That's why Eli said, I ain't going to New York.
Right.
That's why Dion said, well, my son is only going to play for certain teams, because he know who those owners are. And he know how they run their teams.
Right.
Okay, so today I read that during COVID, the union was contacted by an owner, and the owner was not named, which was not done by mistake. He did not name that owner intentionally, because on every other scandal, and there are like 20 scandals in this book that, he talks about that never came out in the public. I was like, man, I didn't know that happened. And he's talking about it. But he intentionally did not name this particular owner that did this. But during COVID, there was an owner that called the union and said, hey, I've been talking to some people, and they said, the government's got a drug that they want to test. And I think my team would be a good place to test this drug.
Really?
Yeah. And so the executive director says, well, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. And he's like, yeah, well, but this will help with the daily testing, because at this point, the owners are having to pay for daily testing, COVID testing of the team, to make sure that these guys can keep playing. Well, this is going to help, and blah, blah, blah. He's like, the executive director says, yeah, but have you ever heard of the Tuskegee experiment? And do you know what happened during the Tuskegee experiment? And he said the owner just went silent. So he tells them, yeah, that's where, they inject the syphilis into 120, to black men to figure out. The government did. And of this project, 128 of them died from syphilis and other complications. Right. Yeah, we're not doing that. And then he calls Roger, the commissioner.
Roger
Goodell. And Roger says, yeah, I told that guy that was a bad idea.
Right.
And I told him not to call you because you're going to let him have it. So see, this is the mindset that these guys have about their employees.
Right. Well, all right. You gave him a nice little taste.
Yeah.
Don't give him too much. But what was the name of that book again?
Turf Wars.
Turf Wars by
DeMaurice Fitzgerald Smith.
All right. What she said. All right.
It's on Amazon. Turf Wars.
We're coming.
And DeMaurice, you owe me a plug. For advertising your book. It's a good book. A lot of good stuff in there.
All right. We're coming to the close of our show. And I want to thank all the listeners for tuning in. But before we go, which I think the last couple times I didn't do, a little-known sports
fact.
Yes. And I was like...
Sports history fact.
Yeah,
Okay, what you got?
Okay. Do you know the longest tennis match occurred during the 2010 Wimbledon Championship between John Isner and Nicholas Mahut. And you know how long that match lasted? 11 hours and 5 minutes.
Oh, my God.
The final
they
set alone.
played tennis for 11 hours straight?
The final set alone went on for 8 hours and 11 minutes.
Oh, that is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's some serious endurance.
11 hours. That is crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people was left in the stands.
Or came back and went home again.
Yeah, exactly. Went back to their room or whatever.
Right. But that was just, when I saw that, I was like,
crazy. Wow.
Yeah. Any, also too, if you want to drop us a note, you can do it at memywifeandsports@yahoo.com. memywifeandsports@yahoo.com. You know, if you want to say hello, ask a question, anything along those lines. And you also can listen to all our episodes on your favorite platform, podcast platform, that is. And also, you can reach out on YouTube as well as Instagram.
And Facebook.
So with that said, Darcy, any parting words?
Nope. Just happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving. And remember, your mate is a reflection of you.